Hello and welcome to E is for Dragon, an Eragon reread podcast. I'm your host Charlie.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Sian. And this week we read A Taste of Tim, An Old Friend, and The Witch and the Werecat.
Woo! Fun set of chapters.
Yeah, really fun.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot bigger than we're used to.
Strap yourselves in, lads, for the summary, because I've got about 4 pages of summary for these chapters.
It did turn out to be like 40 pages worth of content.
30.
Yeah, it was quite a lot.
Yeah.
I had a tragic incident in the middle where I was once again reading in my chair in the beautiful sunlight, and I fell asleep for a little bit between the second and third chapter. I was just sitting there holding my book, like dozing off. I had to wake up and be like, just gonna slap myself out of it. I had to go sit on the ground so that I would remain awake and finish reading my first read and then my second read, taking notes. It was very arduous.
You're so strong for this.
Yeah,
I guess
I've stayed so awake all of today though.
You're so brave. Should we do the summary?
Okay.
You've been putting it off.
Oh, it's going to be a little arduous for me. Well, A Taste of Tim will not. In A Taste of Tim, they arrive at Tim. Saphira's really upset that she can't come with them into the city and that she's once again being left behind in the exact same situation she was very upset about in the past 2 towns they went to, but they're going to be here a bit longer, so it's even worse. She and Eragon have a really lovely little, like, fun, I love you, I hate you kind of conversation. They come in through the front gate, and some guards, like, ask them, what's your name, what are you doing here? Eragon pretends that Brom is old and crazy. We get really in-depth descriptions of the way that Tim is built, which is basically it's being built as kind of like a cone, I guess. There's a really big wall around the outside, and as the buildings near the wall are really low, and as they move toward the centre, they get taller and taller until eventually at the exact centre there's a huge citadel with big towers, and it's built like this so that you can line all of the roofs with arches and repel invaders, because at some point the city was almost completely burnt down in a pirate raid, so then they went like total overkill, frankly, on building their entire city to fend off attackers from any direction. There's only 2 gates into town as well, which seems like a massive nightmare. They go into a tavern called the Green Chestnut, and Brom is almost swindled by the bartender when asking for information on where Jode lives, before some random good Samaritan comes in and messes it all up and gives him the information for free. He also tells us that a number of merchants, including Jode, I almost said Brom, including Jode, have been having major mishaps with their shipments, wherein a large number of their ships have been simply going missing at sea, and they've been having to spend a lot more money on overland routes using caravans and like a lot of security. So Jode lost his last ship earlier this week. It just disappeared in the ocean again.
Again.
They don't think it's Urgles at all, because they haven't seen Urgles in this region for almost a year, because they seem to have all been moving south and west. Yeah, south and west. Which, just really quick, confirms that the regular cardinal directions are real, and the ones on the map are just
they're just
bullshit,
different symbols,
fantasy bullshit for no reason.
Maybe it's just the letters that
Maybe that's why Eragon can't read. We'll get to that.
he could read English, but it doesn't exist.
Yeah, so that's basically the extent of A Taste of Tim. It's quite short. But then we get to An Old Friend, and Brom and Eragon have made their way across the city to the region that they have been told that Jode lives in. They've been told that he lives next to Angela the herbalist. So once they get there, obviously there's a house on either side of Angela the herbalist, so they have to ask which one it is. And they have a rather delightful little conversation with Angela, in which she tells them about how she is studying toads to try and disprove that their existence, because if all toads are frogs, then you can't do wicked magics with toads because they don't exist. Eragon...
perfect sense.
Eragon will not put up with this for a second. He does not believe in this. He thinks that that's rubbish. And Brom thinks that there maybe could be something to it, but he's also just kind of humouring her for the sake of riling Eragon up. They knock on Jode's door, and his hot young wife she cracks the door open, barely opening it, does not want to let them in, but eventually agrees to take a message to him, and once he receives that message, he basically bursts out the door, and is completely shocked to see Brom alive and there. They move to go have a private conversation, which, instead of having that in his house, they go to his office inside the Citadel, because all of the traders are being required to pay rent on an office. It seems like he doesn't use it for much else, so may as well. And it's got very thick walls, so you may as well have your secret meetings there. They're having their conversation about this. We learn that Brom looks just about the same now as he did 20 years ago, and he begins telling Jode about the events that led to them no longer, him thinking that Brom had died. But he's using very, very vague language to make sure that Eragon's not understanding any of it, which he's very annoyed by. He claims that Eragon is just like a regular farm boy who just happened to be going in the same direction, so they're travelling together just for the safety. They ask Jode about seeing the trade logs that they want to see to try and track the Sather oil. And Jode gestures to his entire wall of books, which is all just his trade logs. And in order to see all of the trade logs of all of the traders, you need to have permission from Brand, who is the trade administrator. And then it'll be weeks of work looking through all of the records. Brom then sends Eragon out with an excuse of checking on the horses. Eragon's really upset about that and immediately figures out how to use magic to eavesdrop on him through the wall.
Pretty good.
So what we learn is a brief little notes of what we learn from his eavesdropping. Jode has been supplying the rebellion and a place called Trondheim through Surda. We hear mention of Trondheim, we hear mention of dwarves, as well as a queen, when none of the known lands that Eragon knows about have a queen. Brom wants to send a message to these people. It seems that in the time that Eragon took to figure out how to eavesdrop, Jode has already been told that Eragon is a dragon rider. So it seems that Brom wants Jode to know this, but doesn't want Eragon to know that Jode knows about it. So that's the gist of the conversation here, eavesdrops on there. We then learn that Jode's hot young wife, Helen, is really upset that he's losing all of his money, and which is pretty fair, to be honest. They're all a bit mean about it, about she can't support her lifestyle, but honestly, if I had married a rich old man and he's immediately losing all his money, I'd be pretty pissed as well. Eragon leaves the city to go speak to Saphira, and while talking to her, she's at the top of a cliff. He decides that he's going to climb the cliff just for fun, and then get stuck halfway up. This isn't very relevant to anything, but we spend quite a bit of time on it. She makes a lot of fun of him for being stuck on the cliff. She suggests that you could potentially use magic to view the records without actually having to visit the record keeper and having to get permission. So Eragon, after this, then goes back into the city. He's almost too late for curfew. Almost get locked out. He goes back to Jode's house after struggling through the streets of Tiem, getting quite lost because he's a small town boy. He goes in, and Brom is telling him, this is the plan, we're going to go read all these records, and he says, well, I don't really think I can help you with that at all, because I can't read. And Brom is very shocked by this, because apparently Garrow could read and just didn't teach him. Eragon did not even know that Garrow could read, but he could, and he never taught him, and presumably also never taught Roran how to read, just because he didn't want to, I suppose.
That really feels like something you should teach. I don't know.
I just can't believe it. I can't believe that he didn't do that. Eragon picks a random book off of Jode's study wall, and it is just by complete chance an incredibly illegal history of Alocasia. That the author was burnt for writing it. Somehow he has a copy, and he just happened to pick it up. Brom tells us that scrying probably won't work because you need to have seen the object before, and even if they had seen the correct book before, in order to scry on the page they wanted, it would need to already be open on that page, which is pretty unlikely. Eragon convinces him to tell him the magic words for scrying now, even though he swears totally, I will not scry until we leave Tem, I swear. I swear on my life, I'm not going to scry. He really wants to scry on Roran to see if he's in trouble after all the Razak business. And Brom basically tells him, you can't go back to try and help him, you can't try and draw the Razak away from him, the only thing you can do for him is leave him to his own business and hope that he figures it out. And then we once again get confirmation that Galbortrix really wants Eragon to be a willing participant in any plots that he has going on. So they probably are not going to try and kill him outright, but they might try and capture him or torture him or do other such things. And then we get to the Witch and the Werecat. Brom and Jode have gone out for the day. Eragon slept in. He gets to go explore the city for a bit, but he's got no money, so he has to come back to the house for dinner, for lunch. Before going back into the shop, he goes into Angela's shop to take a little look, and there he meets a very, very bizarre cat, which is the titular werecat. His name is Solumbum.
Yes.
He begins to thought speak to Eragon. I'm sorry for calling it thought speak, by the way. This is animal brain poisoning. I can't call it anything else. He's thought speaking to Eragon, and Eragon's very stupid, so he's like, whoa, Saphira, where are you? How are you talking? What's going on? And then he grabs a random rod that electrocutes him. Solumbum says that he has called him very stupid for not knowing where a werecat is, because they are apparently creatures from legends. We learn that they've got magic powers, have really long lifetimes, and they know a lot more than they will tell you. Angela comes in, and because Solumbum spoke to Eragon, she is willing to give him a real fortune telling, which, because only 2 customers of hers have ever been able to speak to him before, one of them being a blind beggar and the other one being a woman many years ago named Selena, who, while Eragon also makes the connection that could quite likely have been his mother. Selena did choose to get her fortune told at that time, and that convinces Eragon that he too can muscle through and agree to get his fortune told, even though it might be bad. The fortune is really quite long, so I'm just going to kind of skip over it now and we'll discuss it when we get to it, because it's a bit convoluted. After getting his fortune told, he tells Angela his real name and also Brom's real name, and Angela laughs when hearing that Brom is Brom, and says that he's known in her profession because his doom, or rather his future, is something of a joke. Solumbum then tells him 2 things. When the time comes and you need a weapon, look under the roots of the Manoa tree. And when all seems lost and your power is insufficient, go to the Rock of Kuthane and speak your name to open the Vault of Souls. He then walks off. I think he wiggles his tail quite elegantly, is the wording. Eragon's very freaked out about this. He forgets all about his lunch and goes straight back outside of the city to go speak to Saphira, who thinks that Solumbum's words are probably very, very important. And also maybe don't tell Brom about any of this, because then he'll ask some questions. And Eragon's not good at lying. So Eragon goes back to the house. Brom and Jode have come back. Brom has been unable to convince or bribe Brand to let him see these shipping records, which he's very upset about. He has decided now that he's going to spend a single week teaching Eragon how to read, and then after that, when that's finished, after 1 week, he'll give Brand a, quote, nasty surprise, and that's all he'll say on the matter. They then have an incredibly cold and awkward dinner with Jode and Helen. Jode and Helen are sitting at opposite ends of the table with Eragon and Brom in the middle, and Eragon says, I've had cheerier meals at funerals, and he means it. And that's the end of the chapter.
All right.
Oh, this was a big one.
Oh.
All right, let's get started.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
starting on the Taste of Term.
That was I think that's either the biggest or the second largest section we're going to have to read in this entire book.
No, I think there's a larger section.
Like closer to the end?
Yeah, if I'm having a little look.
Like, the thing with this lot is...
Yeah, close to the end.
It's mostly exposition, so there's, like,
Yeah.
lots of detail and not, like, exciting stuff happening,
Yeah,
but
but
you're
also-
getting information.
But there's a lot of information. Later in the book, towards the end, we're going to have... what's it going to be? It's going to be Ajihad, Bless the Child, Arget Lamb, and Mandrake Root, and Newt's Tongue. And having a look at, like, the location in there, I think there's going to be some action scenes in there, so it probably will be a slightly not quite so huge of a summary.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't
Because it
really
won't be
gotten-
it won't be exposition.
Expedition.
Well, it will be perhaps more expeditious, but it will.
We've only had like one action scene so far, so I'm kind
Yeah.
of looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But it's so clear that he really likes the fantasy city he made up,
Yeah.
which is so cute and fun. I like Tarim as well. It's nice.
I think it's fun. I have been picturing it all wrong because he mentions at the beginning that the wall outside is white, and I had applied that to all the buildings as well, but they're actually all kind of like a dark slate grey, which is
Oh.
very different. I've been picturing it as something quite beautiful, but it
like-
says at least the lower buildings are largely grey.
Oh, that's sad.
I've been
I
thinking
was
of them
also
as like a
picturing it as,
pretty
like,
little
all
like
white, yeah.
Mediterranean white,
Yeah, or like, I don't know if either of you ever finished Del Toro Quest, but
Well, yeah.
Tora from Del Toro Quest. That place is actually very scary and maybe not very much like this, but it is a mountain-shaped white city. So, but yeah, I love the bit where Brom is like pretending to be like a kind of old and stupid, and Eragon immediately takes the chance to leap on his back and shake him around like so much.
Say that he's got a touch of the brain fever,
Brain fever.
These two farm country hicks visiting the big city.
Yeah.
What I wanted to like kind of hash out was if they have like British accents, because the way it's written, because it's written phonetically, it's written like they have northern British accents. Like they're putting them on for the bit.
Yeah, it's fake.
Yeah.
But
They're
like,
putting on fake.
what accent do you think that Paulini was writing them to have? Like, people usually just write in their own voice, right? But if these guys had American accents, then what they're doing there is crazy.
I mean, it could be like something Midwestern, Western, Southern.
It could be. But all fantasy is speaking in RP, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are British.
They all are speaking in pronounced. Oh my god, what's it called?
Rhotic pronunciation?
No, it's not rhotic. It's received pronunciation, like all the BBC presenters. Which
Very
no
crispy.
one except for like the royal family have that as a native accent.
Yeah, or maybe some like very high up aristocrats, but they don't really
Perhaps.
exist anymore.
Yeah, no, it's all put on.
I like the description of like the big walls city and the like the stages of the citadel.
Yeah.
But I also don't really know why the city needs to be built like that.
No.
It's explained that it's like
because
it's
of the pirates.
yeah, it's
But they're pirates.
They're
They're not going to
pirates.
siege a whole city.
no. And also, this is supposed to be a big trading center, but it's kind of
hard
I
to
don't
get
know,
things in and out.
really hard to get things in and out because you have to go through the spine. And it doesn't seem like many of the other main cities are coastal, so it's not really a port town.
They have the river that goes to Drasleona, right?
Yeah.
So that's like something. But like, yeah, it just doesn't seem that usefully located.
The river flows towards Tarim, then gets to a lake, and then flows towards Drasleona. So it's like, even that is difficult. And the road before this is described as being kind of... I don't think this guy knows what a highway is, because they're all described as being little pokey, like, side roads, even though they're going...
maybe they just didn't take the real ones.
Yeah, I'm hoping that
I
that's the
assumed
case.
that there would be, like, better roads, like, between, like, Gilead and Drasleona. And presumably they would, like, fork at some point and go towards Tim.
They're just not shown on the map.
No roads are on this map.
No.
It's only rivers and, like, the borders. So I assume that they just were not on a big road. I guess, like, Darrett's not, like...
I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're hiding the dragon on the
But
way
then,
there
like,
too.
There's also a city further north.
Nada?
No, Sunon is further north than Darrett and Yazuak, and it's a city. So should there not also be, like, roads for access to that?
Nobody ever
Because
mentions
that's not
Sunon.
anywhere... That's not, like... located well at all, because the Enora River, like, just turns around and goes back to the lake it starts at. That river's not getting you anywhere.
Do rivers do that?
No.
I don't...
No, they do not.
Wait, the one connecting Darrett to Uruban, this whole one here, this entirely landlocked river.
Is that...
Sure.
Does that happen?
Does that happen?
I feel
don't
like
know
it
enough
must.
about rivers.
I feel like it must be able to happen that you could have a river.
Between
It might
two
just,
large
like,
lakes.
Yeah, or
I
like
feel
if
like
it's like just ended up eventually splitting into such tiny streams you wouldn't mark them anymore. But it does seem very bizarre.
It is odd.
I'm not sure if it's possible or not. I just think like maybe it could be.
Yeah, anyway, my vision of Tarim was like, more like Ba Sing Se, combined with some port town. So it's like...
Yeah, I mean, like, does the wall kind of, like, go around the harbour, maybe?
I don't know, because it says that there's only 2 portcullis.
It seems like entirely enclosed.
Let me...
Really bad decision
Really,
for a port
really
town.
bad decision
Yeah.
for a port town, right?
Where does it
Yeah.
say?
It's like so inaccessible for a trading centre. But it does sound very pretty.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess they're just so plagued by the nation of pirates that's constantly
Yeah.
attacking them.
The
The
pirates are like
wall
never
smooth-
mentioned ever again. So
The wall's
sad.
smooth surface was broken by 2 iron portcullises, one facing the western sea and the other opening south to the road. So the city's not even on the coastline.
No.
The whole
There's a wall in
dockyard
the
is,
way.
like, out of the city. Yeah, Eragon, there's a part where he said, I've never seen a city planned like this. First of all, you've never seen a city,
Yeah,
period.
you've never seen a city, period. But also, because no one
bad.
does this.
No one in their right mind would plan it like this. He also has
It looks
zero
very cool,
thoughts.
though.
It's a cool little fantasy city. He
It's
has-
also horrific and dark inside because of the 100-foot tall wall. The houses were grim and foreboding. Small, deep windows let in only sparse rays of light. Narrow doors were recessed into the buildings. The tops of the roofs were flat, except for metal railings, and all were covered with slate shingles.
Yeah, it kind of just seems like it's a bad place to live.
I feel like I
Yeah.
must have missed like all the dire descriptions because I imagine it as quite like a happy place.
I know! It was
Yeah.
because, well, I guess because compared to the other cities.
Probably because I'm imagining there's a coast there and I think the water, it's bright, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I'm just
Well, I've
picturing
been
a beautiful coastal
picturing
city.
this beautiful coastal city like, gleaming white next to the ocean.
Yeah.
But
Not
it's
this dull grey
no, but
abomination.
it's slate.
Yeah.
I've been mostly picturing, like, and I know it's a real place in the real world, but the Overwatch map that's in Greece,
Yeah.
and it's just like all those pretty
Yeah,
white
I've been
buildings.
picturing
Yeah.
pretty Grecian. But I guess
I
we're
guess it's
wrong.
fun.
I guess we're wrong.
I guess it's ugly as all hell.
And everyone there's really sad.
Yeah.
So they arrive there and immediately go to the pub for some exposition.
I don't want to skip over the fact that Eragon has zero thoughts about seeing the ocean for the first time.
Yeah, he's just like, well,
He's like, cool.
the ocean's there.
I
Also,
thought-
before we skip further forward, I want to talk about his and Saphira's little conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so cute. She's so worried about him and she won't say it. And he says, if anything happens, I'm going to pin... should we do this as a dramatic reading? Should we do the conversation?
That. I'm so scared. Let's bring that on us.
Okay, whatever.
If anything happens, I'm going
Fine.
to pin you to my back and never let you off.
Maybe
Is that the
next
one?
time, bro.
Yeah. Whatever. So she says, if anything happens, I'm going to pin you to my back and never let you off. And he replies, I love you too. Then I'll bind you all the tighter. It's so sweet.
So cute.
They
This
love
is-
each other.
This is like the first time anybody's said that they love anybody in this book.
This might be the first time love has been written in this book. Which 174
control it.
pages.
Yeah, control F the word love and see if it's come up ever. It's so sweet. They are so friends these 3 chapters when he just keeps going out of the city to go hang out with her.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. What else do they have?
He gapes when he can see the city and the ocean for the first time, but that's it.
Maybe Brom's description of the ocean being...
That's enough.
Yeah.
Maybe his description was way better than it
I just
actually
set the
looks
bar
like.
way too
I was
high.
like, I guess it's cool.
I guess
Oh,
it's
it's like-
water. It's like a
It's
bigger
like
lake.
grey.
Yeah.
It's like kind of bad weather. He's like, it's like I was expecting it to be like blue and
Like when
shimmery.
it's stormy and like the water's all muddy and like brown.
He's just like, oh, Grandpa, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
It's also probably on an estuary as well, or something similar. If that,
It's in like a harbour.
well, yeah, because that river goes straight to straight by the city, so the harbour's probably full of silt and horrible.
Yeah, it's
Just
probably
yucky.
not the most beautiful sight.
Yeah, Brom's.
The more we read about Tarim, the worse it gets.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I went into it like, oh my god, I
My
love
memories
Tarim,
of it
it's
were so beautiful, and now it's just like, it's grey.
Sucks. It's great.
You can't reach the boat.
Jode later says something about, it's kind of nice when it's not raining. Like, I think it just
Dunedin
sucks
mood.
here. Yeah, absolutely. I love.
Can't beat Wellington on a good day.
Where did we get this
Can't
image
beat
from?
Tim on a good day.
I think we made it up because the real image was a bit. Shit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I really think I made it up because the wall is white.
Yeah.
So like if your stone wall is white, surely your stone buildings are also white, but they're just not.
They're
Or
just
maybe
not.
just the roofs are slate, but it doesn't specify. They are dark.
Every other building is described as internally as being stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're not
Or
getting.
slimy.
Oh my god. Oof.
We'll get there.
Does Brom he's obviously been to the city before.
Yeah.
But I've got the feeling that the Green Chestnut was just a random pub he walked into and was like, okay, anybody
Yeah.
know Jode by his first name?
Yeah. Doesn't even say Jode the Trader or anything.
No, it just says Jode. I think that's kind of in the top 5 bad plans of all time. It's really suspicious. It's weird. It's kind of a Brom moment.
It's kind of a Brom moment.
The bartender's completely right for trying to scam these guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I would be so fucking mad at that other guy who was like destroying my grift.
And he knows a regular at your bar knows that you're falling on hard times, sees you grifting some old wizard, and is like, no, I have to do something.
No,
I
it's
would
morally
never do
wrong.
that to
It's an
Kenny.
old
I
man.
would know. I would never do that to the beautiful folks at our local tavern.
Can't believe it.
It's sick and twisted. This guy gets so much screen time, and I don't think he ever comes back.
No, I don't think
Martin
that
and
Martin
Gareth.
matters at all.
Yeah. He has a really detailed description.
He's got a profession, he's got knowledge. We get to know what he looks like.
I'm just quickly.
He's ever so
checking-
slightly foreshadowed as like earlier in the passage when you're seeing like the overview of the tavern. It's like, look at this guy.
Check him out, he's missing 2 fingers.
He's staring at them.
Yeah, he's like staring at the twitching stumps, which is like,
Like,
bro,
why are you twitching them?
are you okay? Did you lose them recently?
I just had a look at the acknowledgements and I don't see a Martin in there, so...
It'd be really funny if he was like my buddy from school.
Yeah.
But he was homeschooled.
Oh, no!
No.
Well, we get to meet Angela
Yeah.
very soon.
Very fun.
Does this guy work with Jode? I'm trying.
No.
He's just.
No, he's
he
just-
just kinda
He
knows the
protects
goings
goods
on.
and stuff. He's in the like adjacent to the trade.
I have a really vague recollection of there being some scene on the docks later, but I also might be confusing that with a different book.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
so
I
maybe
also
he shows
think there
back
might
up?
be, but
I
I
know
also have
in
no
future
idea.
books they sail.
Yeah.
So like it could be anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they come back to Tarim, but
I'm not sure if Eragon does.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Roran sails from Tiem at some point. Or
Okay,
maybe they go through
oh.
the spine to Nada and sail from there.
No, I think he sails from Tarim, or
Yeah.
I'm remembering some kind of like basically shootout at the docks.
Yeah, they have it when they're
Situation.
having their really horrible time in like the next
Yeah.
book or something.
I'm actually really excited to get to that. Like I hated
Yeah.
that section.
I'm
when I
excited
read the
to get
first
to
time.
it because I just don't remember it at all.
I severely disliked it, but
I
think
in
it would be
hindsight,
fun-
rereading the Roarin stuff would be fun.
yeah, but I'm a grown up now, and I kind of want to learn about that awful
Yeah.
war story rather than like the cool dragon writing stuff.
Yeah, I think I could accept the war story now.
Yeah, and also like a friend of, I guess I can just say it now, like Etienne, also read these books, and he said he loved the Roar and stuff and like,
Oh.
preferred it because he's really into. Well, he's
he's
really
into
wargaming,
Warhammer.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so like.
No, I could see it.
Yeah, and just like hearing him talk about it, it was like a new perspective on it, and I'm just like really excited to get to it and see if I
am
actually
excited.
Like it.
That's so weird. Everyone I know who's read these books hated it, including like my parents hated that section as well. So like I can't even like say for sure. I don't think that it's like a child adult thing necessarily either.
They are just a bit slow.
They're just not a lot happens. And I think that's harder for you as a child. But my dad definitely didn't like it either.
I think I liked it because A, Roarin gets a hammer.
Yeah, Roar
And-
well,
Jason,
Yeah.
they're real dwarves.
They're real dwarves. But the other part was because I was also into Warhammer at that point.
oh, I see. And all the drudgery of a war camp is right up your alley.
So it's kind of fun.
Oh, it gets claws into our young men.
Expensive habit.
It's so sad what Warhammer is doing. They'll never tell you what Warhammer did to Nick. Okay, are we done with this chapter? That's about it.
There's no Urgles around here anymore because they've left.
There's mentions of the pirates.
There's some stuff about the pirates. Well, it's not your usual piracy because it's only specific merchants' goods.
Do Urgles sail? Like this, I'm
I
not sure if
don't know.
it was like implying that they sail or if they come up through the. I don't feel like they would come up through the spine.
I don't think it's like really established at this point where Urgles are from.
North.
Yeah, because they're moving
well,
south,
yeah.
so they're not normally south.
Yeah, I think they're,
Well,
they're
actually-
from like the frigid north.
Okay, so they wouldn't be from the forest.
What if they
So
have
there's-
like giant like is it Batistas and they're like spearing ships from the shore?
Bomb? Oh, ballistas?
A ballista. That's what I mean.
Batista is a
They had a
professional. What if they
fucking
had
Batista.
Batista? Get him!
Yeah, what if they jumped really far like the Razak and they Batista?
Oh my god, what if
No.
they almost had professional
I mean-
wrestling moves?
I think they do.
Next book.
I think
someone's
they
gonna
would be really
getting the
into
people's
it.
elbow.
That's canon.
I think Urgles would be the best professional wrestlers
Yeah,
on
don't
the
they like
planet.
love to fight
They're
ritually?
obsessed
They're
with
fucking
it.
huge.
And
So
they're
yeah, they would
gigantic.
be into it. But no, I mean, what if they had giant spear guns?
Yeah.
I don't think they do, but that would be cool.
No, I'm not sure they have siege weapons. They're not really that kind of guy.
They don't really.
Isn't
well,
there,
maybe
like,
the
siege
coastal
artillery at
Urgles are
all?
making a living sieging these ships.
I don't think there's a single mention of a trebuchet in these
No.
books.
That's so fucking sad.
They haven't invented them.
We have to. We have
the
to
world is
reprint
the
this.
world is flat. There's no trebuchet.
They live in hell.
No,
There's no trebuchet. There's no ballistas.
there's no curvature.
It's so sad.
Well, they don't know about it.
What would... Everything would be completely fucked up if there was no curvature, right?
I just can't imagine it.
I can't. It would have so many repercussions. I can't even think
Yeah.
of them all.
Yeah, it's like
Begin to think about it.
you do a fantasy book or like write a fantasy thing where there's 2 moons, and the repercussions of that is too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
Mike was talking about a Brandon Sanderson one where there's no moon, and it's like I don't think that a planet would work. like the ocean. I don't think it would work.
There are planets that have been exoplanets
But do
we've seen without
people live
moons.
there?
Well, no,
But are there
yeah.
complex ecosystems on exoplanets? Yes,
Well, yes, 'cause
exos from
exos-
there. But
We don't know
no,
that there's complex ecosystems. It could just be those guys.
it could be. Maybe that's why they came here. They're bored on exoplanet.
Like, fuck, there's nothing here.
Yeah, one last thing. We don't get too many mentions of, like, other continents and stuff, so where the hell are these pirates coming from?
Yeah. Like, they don't... At one point, in these chapters, I don't know where, Eragon explicitly says that people don't know about any lands across the seas or past the desert.
Maybe they're just coming from
Which,
up.
I must
think
say,
they're living
insane.
on Sharktooth.
Oh,
This
probably.
wee little spot here.
They're either
That is such a pirate island.
hanging
That's
out on
totally pirate
Sharktooth,
God, the pirate king. living on
a
Shark-
pirate island shaped like a shark's tooth.
That's so dope.
Mr. Pally,
Well, they could
if
be
you're,
coming
if you're
from the
listening to
north.
this, please write a pirate subplot.
Please,
I need to
pirate
know.
short story.
Please go back in time and write a pirate subplot.
You could write it
this page
now.
is coming off.
Wow,
No.
My God,
it's on you.
I might need to buy a new. No, I
Treat
can't.
your book better.
I can't. Yeah, I'll just go back in time and get both of my brothers and my past self to treat my book better. This wasn't just my copy of Eragon. You have to understand. All of
I'm
our
just
books.
comparing my pristine
We've done it a
copy.
million
It's
times.
funny.
Looking forward to
Anyway.
seeing what your copy of Eldest looks like.
Yeah, any better?
It's actually pristine. I only read it like 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't just me. Jack and Michael
You, like, also read the
were like
book as
tearing them
much as
apart.
you,
Our copy of
My mum
the,
does that. It drives me crazy.
Goblet of Fire, I think. You can't see the front cover because it's just completely wrapped in physio tape to keep it together. It's evil.
Oh, man.
That's fucked up.
Well, when you have 3 very destructive children and 1 book between them, you
Yeah.
know,
Well.
it's tough.
They should have just had non-destructive children. That's what my parents did.
Well, I'll just go, yeah, no, you're right. I'll go
My
get
parents just had really easy and non-destructive children, and it worked out really well.
My parents got 2 out of 3.
All right.
Let's go talk to Angela. Speaking of siblings.
Oh my god, I love Angela.
Oh my god. Okay, how would you feel if when your brother was 15, he wrote a book and named this character after you?
I'd be touched until I read it.
No, I love this bitch.
Oh, yeah, she is really
She's
great.
me.
I think being a child and seeing a younger... younger or older?
Angela's younger.
Angela's younger. Oh, that'd be
So if your older
completely fine then,
sibling, yeah, right there.
They'd be adorable.
Yeah.
I think if a younger sibling
You
is writing
know
that about
she
you,
was
that's
making,
an
like-
insult.
Yeah,
you know,
I
she
don't
was
know.
making
I've only got a
potions in the
younger
yard.
sibling, so I don't know.
She was out there like, check out my witch's brew, and he knew
Yeah,
exactly
he
what
was
to
like,
do.
Yes.
Check out my pit.
Check out my
What
pit.
if she was brewing in the pit?
God. Booching in the pit.
I need to listen to him tell that story again.
It's so funny. I have some fun toad and frog facts, if you'd like to hear them.
All right, we'll quickly
which
talk
one's
about the little
real?
riddle that
yeah.
Angela's giving at the start.
oh my
It's so
God.
funny.
Do that.
May I go to the bathroom?
Literally.
Giving you linguistic puzzles. Eragon doesn't even know how to read.
Yeah, you're scaring him. Hold on, I want to read that passage. They ask, could you tell us which house Jode lives in? And she says, I could, and keeps writing. And Brum goes, will you tell us? And she goes, yup. And then keeps writing. And then there's a bit of just a description of the toad she's holding.
Just being an awkward silence.
Yeah, and Eragon gets so pissed off, he's about to say something, and Angela's like, looks up and goes, of course I'll tell you. All you have to do is ask. Your first question was whether or not I could tell you, and the second was if I would. But you never actually put the question to me. And Brom is like getting mad, and then goes, okay, let me ask properly. Which house is Jode's? And why are you holding a frog? It's just, it is so very, may I go to the bathroom? Like...
I think the dialogue in these chapters is actually a lot better than what we've had.
Yes, it's
throughout the rest
getting a
of
lot
the
Yeah.
better. I think it's
Yeah.
mostly because it's not just Brom, like...
trying to
doing-
hide stuff from Eragon.
Yeah, and like doing his wise man like stick.
Yeah.
And there's other characters to talk to. Like Solombaum's so much fun, Angela's so much fun, and it's because they're not Brom.
Even Jode is fine because like we're getting actual banter out of characters. like proper speaking just normally instead of, oh, I'm going to exposition dump on you.
Yeah, I need to tell you about how the magic system works and what the lore is.
I want Eragon and Jode to have a really awkward conversation where like they've been left together alone, but like it's a little too long to just sit in silence.
So,
where are you from? Well,
I already knew that you're from Carvalho.
everybody I know is dead. And so my toad and frog facts
Oh yeah.
go on then.
is that toads are frogs. And she's right.
She's right.
what?
Toads are frogs. Both are anorans, which is the kind of like family.
Yeah.
Toad is mostly a folk taxonomy category.
Oh.
But
The ugliest of frogs.
yes, most often
No.
referring to frogs, or as they're often sometimes called, true toads in Buffonidae. Bufo like cane toads. So there are toads, but they are also frogs.
Okay.
All toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads.
Yeah, so
I
toads
see.
exist
So it's a
inside
square
of the
and
frog
rectangle.
family.
Exactly. So she's right, but she's wrong.
She's right.
Is
but
she
she's not
right
changing
enough that you
anything.
can't do them for evil?
No. I think
A true toad can still do evil.
a true toad can still be used to hatch a cockatrice. I'm sorry. They're
What about like upsetting your stomach? Is that one thing she listed?
oh, well, they are very, very poisonous. Most of them. So yes.
Oh, that's not what she said. Make your teeth fall out, cause warts and poison, or kill people. I guess they can do all of that.
Frogs can do that too. Poison dart frog.
Oh,
have you
I
made
love
that?
poison dart
Fall out.
frog.
They-
Teeth fall out.
I don't think they make teeth fall out. Have you heard the anecdote of the like zoologist who was like her thing was poison dart frog. She was like obsessed with them, and there was this one specific really rare species that she really, really, really wanted to find, and she found it on field work.
Oh god.
And she was holding it, and it's okay to touch them, but if you touch your mucous membranes at all, you're dead.
Yeah.
Straight up, you die. And she was so like overwhelmed by like, oh my god, I finally found it, and he's so cute, and he's my little poison dart frog, that she was crying heaps and heaps and heaps, and then went to put it down, and then went to wipe her eyes, and like 3 of her field assistants had to like jump on her because it was like, oh my god, you're about to literally you're about to accidentally kill yourself because you love this frog so
Yeah.
much. It's so funny. It's like such a classic like zoologist
God.
thing. But yeah, that's my little
Angela's
animal
fucking
aside.
onto it.
She's right, and Eragon hates
She
taxonomic
knows.
study. He's so he's like, if
says-
she's right, my shoes are made of gold. Look down, buddy.
Who knows? Toads might really be frogs. They are.
They are. Listen to me.
Your shoes aren't made of gold, you fool.
Do you think Paulini knew this?
Oh, definitely not.
No? He
No.
thought that toads and frogs are different guys?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's okay.
I'm not going to say anything about the homeschooling, but
Maybe he had
I'd
an
learn this in
almanac and it
regular
told him
education.
about true toads, and he was like, ha ha ha.
Maybe he had one of those big, thick animal books that just tells you everything.
do love those.
I'm obsessed. New World Monkeys, you're my favourite guys. They're so funny.
Like the supermarket?
And there's monkeys in there.
Good God.
No, we have to go there later. Hold on.
It's fine, you can go to self-checkout.
Yeah.
They're just buying
There's no
registers.
monkeys there.
There's no monkeys in the self-checkout.
Why does Helen open the door so scared like?
Why doesn't there...
Oh, she's been crying, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been fighting. They've been
been
having a
fighting.
domestic in there and someone knocks on the fucking door.
Get your butler to do it.
Yeah, they have a
guy.
butler. Why did she have... Oh, that's so sad. I feel really bad for her. None
Yeah.
of this is her fault, and all these men are being really mean behind her back.
Yeah.
They're like, ugh, this bitch just wants to live the life she was promised. What the fuck?
It's just wants, like, is sad because her husband's business is going under, and her dad invested heavily in the business that's going under. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's horrid.
I feel like her marriage to Jode can be read one of two ways, which is she married him and then her dad invested, or the kind of more evil one, which is her dad is a heavy investor in the company, and so
And part of his investment is Helen.
yeah, you get to marry my daughter.
Because she's way younger.
She's like described as a young woman, and Jode is like fully grey and like
Probably an old man, same
Yeah.
age as Brom.
maybe a
But
little.
younger.
I think he's younger than Brom, but like
Yeah. Well, he's gone grey.
He's gone
he
grey.
he wasn't grey when they last saw each other.
he's
No,
probably in
yeah.
his 50s.
Yeah.
Like 50s.
And
maybe
Helen is
60s.
probably like, I don't know, 25.
Yeah.
She's having a really rough go of it. I don't
Yeah.
blame her.
Even
for
if it was
anything.
a real love match, it's a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the book is just very mean to her. There haven't been enough female characters in this book for
To be forgiving.
yeah, and or for like any real. I won't call this like real misogyny, but it is like certain attitudes towards
It's
women.
questionable.
But like there haven't been enough.
But our
Saphira's there. But
Our
she's a
named
dragon.
female characters are a dragon. We've got Eragon's dead mum. We've got Sloane's dead wife. We've got Katrina, who's nothing.
The town healer, who's
We've got
nothing.
fucking Gertrude.
Horst's petite, beautiful wife.
Well, I said
Did you?
oh, Horst's petite.
Yeah.
beautiful
Horse wife,
yes,
not
of
Sloane's
course.
dead wife.
I'm not sure we see her for like 2 pages. She's
Yeah,
barely
she's
even
not a
there.
character.
We've got Angela now, I guess.
And Angela as of 4 pages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't be misogynistic to the character that is your sister.
No.
Well, you can.
Well, you
Well,
He hasn't decided to be. If you can really be in a relationship with your sister, you can.
Yeah.
But it
it
doesn't
seems like
seem
they're
like that was the case.
But yeah, it's just like I'm not gonna go too hard on it because it's a kid writing the book, and of course you just
And
like,
also
don't
it-
examine your biases.
Also, she's only been in like 1 chapter
Yeah.
so far, but like,
It's a little like
like Helen.
poor thing. It sucks for her right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna be really mad if she's like a snitch or something.
Yeah, that
'Cause it
seems
also
like what
kind
it's
of-
building up to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's either she's gonna be a snitch or she's completely blind to everything that her husband does, which is also kind of suck.
Yeah.
I think she's just not happy that her husband is doing the things that he's doing.
Well, yeah, it's destroying her
Yeah,
life.
Well,
but
yeah,
it's
I think
really
she-
it's
I think
really
she knows
different
about
if
it,
she's upset
right?
that he's aiding the rebellion and it's destroying their life, versus if she's upset because for some reason, like for an unknown reason, her
Oh, yeah,
husband
she's
is being targeted.
entirely
Like they're
kept
all
in the
quite
dark.
different.
Yeah.
And I don't really know which one it is.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
don't know how
remember.
much of a character she ends up being.
I don't
No.
think
They're in
much.
Tiram for a while, so I think Eragon at least interacts with her like a couple of times.
But I
So-
don't think she really plays a big role in the story.
No, not at all.
No.
But I am kind of interested to see
Yeah.
how it plays out. Right now, just having read these chapters, it feels like she's going to be the one who's tattling on him,
Yeah,
which is going to be.
it should be.
eh.
Yeah, I don't know.
But honestly, I would. If it, like, I'm just like some normal noblewoman, and I marry this guy, and he fucks my life up really, really,
Well,
really
he
bad.
wasn't fucking her life up until he started getting targeted.
That's true, actually. So why would she have any
Yeah.
reason
But
to snitch
also,
on
like, I
So
think
it
a
would
lot of
just
the
be,
traders
like-
are being targeted.
Yeah, but it's all people in his network.
Yeah, it's all the same kind of group of
It's
guys.
specifically his network all across the coast of the people who are getting targeted.
Right, yeah.
No one else.
Which is like, why aren't they just coming and killing him? If they know he's like sending
Well, they still
supplies
need
to
his
the-
supplies, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they're just stealing
just-
his
they-
shit.
They just keep
Yeah.
stealing
Just
his
think
shit.
of it as taxation.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he hates that.
Oh, these guys hate
Yeah,
that.
Joe's
Joan
kind of a
also hates
hater.
taxation.
Great. I've got,
Okay, Jode finally comes to the door, fresh from his domestic.
and then
They
why
go
the fuck?
to his office for
What
the
is
secret
this
conversation.
situation?
Why? Like, who's in their house? It's just like your butler and your wife.
Are you bugged?
Like,
Yeah.
why can't you have a
Are
conversation
people
in your
listening to your
study?
house? Like, people are definitely listening to your study if they're at your house.
Yeah.
But there's 2 people in his house.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe as a cook. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe he's got more stuff. But
Yeah.
he really does have a cook. I don't imagine the butler's cooking.
They also just wander
But-
into the castle. Like there's no mention
Yeah,
of
like there's guards at the gates to the city, but you can just walk into the citadel.
the like mayor lives there, or the lord or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just they can
Is
just
Joe
wander
like a
in.
big trader? I think
Yeah,
he's like
he's a big
somewhat
trader.
Yeah, I think he's pretty
Yeah,
big.
well, it was
But,
like,
like, to
oh,
just go
anyone
into
on
the
the
citadel,
street could
right?
tell you where Jode lives.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's pretty big.
Yeah, but the castle thing is weird.
I love when
They
they're
just have a
about
lot of
to.
access to
They're
all
about
of
to
these
go
places.
there, and Eragon has the thought, I hope I can learn something of Brom's past, which is very, like, video game tooltip. Something important will happen.
On the loading screen.
Yeah.
Why is it slimy?
Why is it? It's like, Now, why is it that the area of the Citadel that they are being forced to rent as offices to keep their papers, to keep their registers, which are on paper?
Why is it damp?
Why is it slimy?
Why is it slimy?
Well, I wonder, where is it?
It's like a thick slime as well. It's a layer of slime.
When he within a long, empty hallway lit by torches set into the wall, Eragon was surprised by how cold and damp it was. When he touched the wall, his fingers slid over a layer of slime.
They're putting the merchants in the dungeon.
Yeah, this is underground. That doesn't happen above ground unless you're like deep inside the building, and even then,
Maybe all of Terram's just like this.
Yeah.
it is coastal.
Because it's built so bad.
It gets no sun.
It's so yucky, disgusting.
Because they built
there.
it in a way with 100-foot wall around it. Where's the sun coming in?
Straight above only.
It's also 30 feet deep. Thick. I don't know.
It's like 12 meters.
That's an absurd amount of concrete. There's
Holy
no way.
shit, that's...
Yeah, it's 100 feet high and 30 feet thick.
Let me
And
get my
I don't know how
This is like
what
an
that
Attack
is.
on Titan wall or something.
This is like an
what the
absurd wall that I mean, we've established that no one would plan a city like this. But that's insane. And also, your city can't get any bigger if your wall is that huge.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot move that.
No.
Okay, for all our normal listeners out there. Wait, I've just gone feet to inches. I'm gonna throw
How many inches is that?
1,200. It is 30 meters tall and 9 meters wide. That is so
You
thick.
cannot
That's
do
so
that.
much. That's ridiculous.
And, the wall is hollow because there are arches inside of it. But, that's insane.
How tall is our house?
There's
Like
just
10
no
meters?
reason
Yeah, that's
for the city
wall
to
is
be
as
like
thick
that.
as our house is tall. Well, no. Yeah, maybe. Probably.
Why? The pirates don't have siege weapons.
What
They're not
if
gonna...
they do?
They... Well...
What if an Urkel Batista? You need that.
the
They
wall-
can get through an 8-meter thick wall.
The wall's hollow and the actual wall is like 6 inches thick and he can just elbow dive straight through it and it just topples like cardboard. It's all appearances. I guess pirates have cannons.
Yeah.
The pirates recruit the Earls to
wall's
Palace
not
Land
even
through
in
the...
front of the port. They could steal everything from the ships without going through the wall.
Yeah, everything that matters is in the port. Taram, you suck so
Well, that's what
bad.
happens. All the goods go out on the ships, and the ships get raided.
Yeah.
No one's attacking the walls.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about you.
Actually, I think the pirates adapted around the walls, you know? The pirates came after Tyrion was put together. Yeah, we've been going for a while on
It's
this
gonna
one.
be a really long one, lads.
Yeah, I need to get to the supermarket before 10 p.m.
We could cut this to a two-parter. I don't know.
I'm cool to keep going. Kind of. I've got Brom is being so mysterious again. Whoa, Brom.
There's no reason for them to do this.
There is, apart from like,
Why does he want Eragon to not know that Jode knows about Eragon? Why does that matter?
I think he just likes having things over on him. Like, honestly.
It's crazy that it's like they're keeping Eragon from knowing about the Resistance when he kind of has to be the Resistance.
Yeah, they already have
Yeah.
this whole thing planned out for him,
Yeah.
and he doesn't know anything about it.
The whole point is
Yeah.
like having a dragon as a weapon is like the ultimate thing. So why would you not tell him that, hey, you're going to need to do this?
Yeah.
Well, as he says, he needs to train him in Sphera for at least a year.
Well, why
don't you tell them
what they're
about
training
it?
for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just,
God.
like, I think, apart from...
Brom's afraid that Eragon's gonna like go on his little revenge quest after a month and then call it quits and
He's
say,
like,
I'm done.
Peace,
That was
I don't
enough
do
for
this
me.
anymore.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, apart from narratively keeping, like, a mystery going or whatever, there is no reason
know.
for him to be keeping this from him.
And then the fact that he's telling his story gets caught in the lie, and it's like kind of suspenseful, like, oh, Jode's onto him, he's lying. And then as soon as they're eavesdropping, it's like Jode knows about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter that he was telling a lie and got caught in the lie, and like, that is not important at all.
Yeah, and also, like, just from a, I think, like, personal trust standpoint, that is not Brom's information to give away.
Well, no, Eragon's like specifically
Like,
what the hell? He should have asked
didn't give me
me.
permission to tell. Like, no, that puts Eragon in danger, but that really puts Saphira in danger. Because Jode is just some guy.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. He's not just some guy. He's already being targeted by the Empire, and Brom knows that.
Yeah.
Although
and he's-
Jode is in the Resistance.
Yeah, but like Jode is possibly compromised because he's being targeted.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, if Brom's so fucking special and, like, such a big deal that Jode couldn't know he was alive for 20 years, why does he get to waltz in there and be like, oh, this kid with me is the next Dragon Rider?
Yeah, and like it gets very clear from the way it's like phrased that like the eavesdrop conversation that he tells Jode about Eragon before even asking about you're being targeted. Is
Yeah.
it by the Empire? He's already disclosed the insane important information before.
Like, figuring out if this guy's compromised,
Yeah.
like, anything. Also, he tells him basically the second Eragon leaves the room.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be such a Brom hater on this cast, but he is making so many
No, I'm a
bad
Brom
decisions.
anti.
That's how you pronounce...
Oh.
I say it anti.
I probably would say anti normally, but like for emphasis.
I don't know. This is a certified Brom moment.
Yeah, this is
Anti-Brom.
this is maybe the number one Brom moment
Yeah.
that we have come across.
This is the category
thus far.
5 Brom. This is the category 10 Brom moment. I don't know how far that ranking system goes.
I'm just so mad at him. I can't believe. Well, I
Yeah.
can. The thing is, I can believe he would do this. I can believe you've done this.
I can believe you've done this. Shout out to another complaint about precious taxes.
Everybody hates taxes.
It's a throwaway line, but I underlined it because why does 15-year-old Chris hate taxes so much?
Maybe he heard his parents bitching about it because they run an independent business.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brom does his stupid fucking smoke trick again. He's like, check me out, I'm so cool, and blows a green smoke ring which flies up the chimney. Like, I get that you're like a Gandalf XP or whatever the fuck, but you'll never be him. So stop
Simply.
trying. Gandalf was actually cool, and you are being very mean to a
Gandalf
child.
was like a wizard. Like wizard as a race. Right?
Gandalf's an angel.
Gandalf's an angel.
Yeah,
Oh my
from
God.
heaven.
Yeah. He's
You'll never
ageless
be
and
him.
immortal.
Yeah, wizards are a race, and they are
You'll
angels from
never be
heaven.
him.
Yeah, he dies, but he gets better.
And he gets a way less cool staff.
Yeah, Brom doesn't get to do that. Any of those things. The best he can do is light a campfire.
Yeah, great
Well,
job,
he can do
asshole.
that though.
He's very lucky that Eragon knows literally nothing about world politics,
And also can't read.
and also can't read, because even though he's masking his speech here, he's being so fucking obvious. He also slips up badly.
Yeah.
Where is it? He's like, bearskin rug, blah 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 blah. He says I fled the city and ran to the. Brom hesitated and glanced at Eragon and then said, ran to our friends. Like, you're about to say the name of the rebellion.
Yeah.
Which is like, why? Why is he keeping this from him? It does not make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm sick of him. I'm sick of that old man.
Sick of that old man.
I don't want him around anymore.
Cock it, old man.
Well,
Oh well.
anyway.
Yes, sorry, we're such haters. But I feel like Eragon should be able to figure out at least a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty clear just from reading this that I don't think this, their mission gets explained later, but it's pretty clear that him and Jode were stealing Saphira's
Yeah.
egg.
I think
Yeah.
it's so funny that he got lost in a storeroom and opened a random box and found
It's
it.
like, oh, I guess this is it.
Like, that's insane.
There is a
Why
lot
was
of
it there?
fate in this. Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why were they keeping the most important thing in the
Just in a
world?
box.
In a
Just
storeroom.
in a cellar?
like,
Maybe he's not being incredibly truthful about that, you know?
yeah, maybe it was in his lady's bedchambers.
Wrong.
Didn't want to tell anyone.
And he's an adulterer.
And he doesn't respect marriage vows.
It's unbelievable.
I can't believe him.
It gets worse.
Brom's out here fucking military wives for real. Yeah, no, he's being really, really,
Yeah.
really obvious. And Eragon is so stupid. God bless.
Eragon
God bless.
says in his thoughts about what he's overheard, he mentioned a queen when there aren't any queens in the known kingdoms. What kingdoms?
The one you're in.
There's just
and
the
Serta.
one.
There's Serta. Where else? You've already, like, we know that you don't know about any lands across the ocean or to the I guess maybe there's some more to the north that we just don't see on the map, but what known kingdoms?
I mean,
There's
shout out to
two.
dwarves. Fuck yeah.
He doesn't know about them.
Well,
He thinks they
I
disappeared
think
underground.
Brom said something about
Brom
the
does
dwarves
say
not
something
being
about
there.
dwarves. He's like, oh my god, dwarves, so real?
And then
But they're
Brom's
not one
like,
of the known kingdoms.
That would never be real. Yeah, the
Not
known
anymore.
kingdoms are this one, which doesn't have a name, and Soda.
Yeah.
And dwarves, who, as he himself told me, disappeared underground long ago. So, like, he barely knows they exist. Dwarves are not on his radar of known kingdoms.
I don't know that Eragon knew there were actually politics at all until he left Carnival.
No, I will commend him for
local
the
politics.
He knew there was a king
I'll
and paid
commend.
taxes.
I will commend Eragon for this. He thinks I desperately want to know all about this, but I can't be nosy because it could fuck everything up.
Yeah, sure.
And then he does it anyway. I love him getting this spell perfect the first time. He's like, okay, how do I eavesdrop? And then just does it.
Yeah.
And it's totally fine.
There's a little thing in the next few pages where he's figured out that doing literal words creates the spell, because he says like something for how you could scry, you would combine light and reading or something, light and distance.
Yeah.
That'll backfire later, I'm sure. But it's cool to learn a little bit more about the magic system.
First mention of my man Ajihad. I love that guy.
He's cool.
He's so swag. Also, yeah, earlier Brom and Jode are like, oh, we gotta go away from prying eyes, and then waltz into a government building and start
Like
talking shit.
the walls are thick and slimy. No one will hear us.
The slime keeps it silent. And start talking shit that could get them executed immediately.
Yep.
They're not smart.
Start
men.
spelling
No,
secrets
yeah,
in
that's
there.
much worse than talking in your home.
Yeah, someone's
Yeah.
drilled a hole through that wall and is watching you through a portrait 100%.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Anything
They
else?
can't go home for dinner because Helen will be upset.
But
Oh.
yes. Like it's...
Yeah.
Yes, she should be. Pimby...
They get
anything
a
else.
they
Eragon
get.
can't read.
Oh,
yeah, I was
before
about to
that,
say
were
Eragon
you?
climbing
How
up
pleased
the-
were you by food descriptions? We get to hear about a meal,
Oh yeah.
I was very pleased.
about a stuffed suckling pig
Yeah, and he's
with
so excited about
potatoes, carrots,
vegetables.
turnips, and sweet apples.
Yeah, he's very, very excited about the vegetables, which is dope. I was happy about that. I was thrilled. But yeah, go illiteracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eragon
He
can't
goes to
read.
talk to Saphira and gets stuck on the cliff first before illiteracy.
That is so
He's
funny.
stuck there
She's
for no reason. Why did he do that?
for fun.
And then she's so mean to him about
Going
it too.
silly.
Yeah, because he
You
was.
need me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
because
is.
he
So
was like,
useless.
I don't need you to help me up the cliff, and then he needs help getting up the cliff to get stuck. So yeah, she's right.
She
Completely
is right, but she's so like
She's being petty about it
yeah.
again.
But like we don't get her perspective, but she must be feeling so just like left out.
Everyone
and,
Oh,
should
yeah.
stand in
and,
awe
like,
of your
useless.
brilliance at finding the only dead end.
So funny. She's so snarky and fun. I love
Love
her.
it.
But yeah,
And then she lets him sweat for a moment, like waiting.
And she walks
are
away.
you gonna help me? Are you gonna fucking help me? I like that he can't get up or down. Like he's fully stuck.
Yeah.
Like, he fucked up so badly.
This is a rock climber's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Didn't survey the path before he went. Nothing.
Well, I think he did, but he didn't do it very well. Is the
just
problem.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, sure. It looks like it's going to be fine." He said, "No," he said, eyeing the cliff. "That won't be necessary. I'll just climb up."
Come on, bro.
Don't free climb cliffs.
It's a bad idea.
In fantasy or otherwise.
I'm so happy they both decide to just lie to Brom
Yeah.
or decide to lie by omission.
yeah.
I think you should keep things from him because he has been keeping things from you.
Saphira knows about reading. I think Saphira can read.
I don't think Saphira can read. Who taught her how to read?
She's got genetic
Ancestral
memory.
knowledge of knowing how to read?
The ancient language.
Yeah.
She can only read the ancient language.
Yeah, I think that's
She
probably
can't read
plausible.
common or
Is
whatever.
the ancient language ever written down? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
it has to
he's
be.
Literally written
Wait,
down
yeah.
in that book he picks up.
That's right.
It's like a 3-day long elven poem that makes the rocks weep.
But it's
when
a
Eragon's,
translation.
like, supposedly browsing through that, he can't read.
Yeah,
What's
no,
he doing?
he's just
Looking
flicking
at
the
the
pages.
He's like looking at the pictures. He's seeing if any of the spines are gilded. You know.
It's like illuminated manuscript style. He's like looking at the picture of a duck pulling a naked guy in a boat that like makes up the letter E or something.
I can't believe that Garrow knew how to read and didn't teach him.
What is wrong with him?
I can't believe Garrow knew how to read and just didn't do it ever, to the point that his kid didn't know he could read.
Garrow thinking that reading is a luxury.
It doesn't cost anything.
Luxury.
It's free to teach your children how to read. You can get a bit of birch bark and a little charcoal stick and write stuff down.
You could have fucking sent him to Brom and have taught him how to read.
Yeah. What is wrong with
Probably anyone in Carbahol knows how to read.
I think everybody except
everyone.
Eragon can read.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eragon, Roran, and Garrow were like one of those weird little like families off on the side where like they're kind of in a cult or something, but
Yeah, they're like
what do you do
preppers.
about it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, hi Garrow.
It's like, oh, so like your kids are barefoot and they don't know how to read.
Awesome.
That's cool for you.
So you're doing like that like what is it? That self-teaching
Oh yeah, you're
thing where
doing.
kids will if they want.
Well, they're being
they
homeschooled.
will. Wait a second.
Wait.
Wait a minute. Yeah, every single piece of information we get about Garrow just makes him look like the weirdest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
He-
Like a conspiracy theorist, but there aren't any conspiracies
Yeah.
around for him to be
I'm
Yeah.
surprised
about.
that like Eragon didn't find his like secret cellar where he's got like 6 years worth of vacuum packed food stored away.
He's got cured meat in there.
6 years of pickle.
Brains.
Just jerky.
What's his fucking problem?
What's his fucking deal?
No. Well, he's dead now.
Oh, well.
Here's the timeline. Well, not even the timeline, but weird Garrow shit. His wife dies and then, or maybe even before that, they move all the way out of town. Like, he never teaches either of his children how to read. They're, like, weird and isolated the whole time.
He makes sure one of his children knows that he's not his child.
Yeah. He's
like, really
extremely-
knows.
Yeah.
Really, really weird to his nephew. I'm beefing with this guy.
Yeah, I'm beefing with Garrow, I'm beefing with Brom, I'm beefing with, like, I'm kind of beefing with Jode a little bit. I'm beefing with every adult man in this book.
We haven't even
Beefing
got to
with
the
Sloane.
Sloane chapters.
Oh, God.
I'm not beefing with Horst, he seems fine.
Horst-
Yeah,
seems
Floss is
lovely.
fine.
One
And
guy.
he makes
One
me
guy.
think of Horst, so
Yeah,
positive.
I like him. Yeah, fuck Garrow. Whatever. I hate him.
I am obsessed with the fact that Eragon picks up a random book and it's the incredibly illegal history of Allegasia.
It's worth more than anything in the house.
And it's also
It's in the ancient
so
language.
recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes up to a couple decades ago.
That's so recent. The elves have been there for like
Heslint the monk.
hundreds.
It's from before the elves landed here, ending a few
Holy
decades
shit.
ago.
Heslin the monk was working on that for his whole life.
Heslint the monk was working on that for his whole life. He got like burnt at the stake or whatever, and it's like 30 years later.
He's a real one, doing it for history.
Let's hear it for Heslint.
Eragon learning about the concept of books, saying it's amazing that a man who is dead can talk to people through these pages.
God.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, I love Jode being like, oh yes, unfortunately I've become a bit of a bibliophile. A what?
Oh, what?
Yeah, like really concerned. A what?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, what's wrong?
What the hell is that?
What do you mean?
I'm afraid I've degenerated into a bibliophile. A what?
Oh, what?
None of those words are in the Bible.
Well, the Bible is a bibliophile.
The Bible isn't in. The Bible isn't
the
here.
The Bible's not in the Bible.
The Bible is in the bibliophile.
You're making so much sense right now.
You? I'm obsessed with the
Anyway.
fact that it was written by a monk who was then burnt. He wasn't specifically burnt at the stake, but I
Just
assume
burned.
he
Just
was.
burn.
Or maybe Shuriken just blew him up.
Shot a fireball at him.
That's way funnier.
Like firing squad, but it's a fireball.
Dragon.
Giant black dragon. Yeah, I'm excited to see him scrying. I feel like he uses it quite a lot later in the books.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's such a good power to
He
have.
uses it so much in this book
Yeah.
later.
It's
But
dope.
I'm
It's
saying
really
scrying
good.
takes so much energy. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Here's the way to do it.
Here's exactly how to do it.
Here are the secret words.
Promise not to.
Is Brom trying to kill him? just
Well, I
don't
mean, when he's
kill him.
beating the shit out of him with a stick, it sure feels like it.
I think
At least in Jode's house, you can't beat him to half to death every
Yeah.
night anymore.
I think that I have a little Brom theory.
He's trying to kill Eragon and get that dragon.
No, not even because
It's a
it would kill
theory.
Saphira.
A Brom
yeah.
theory.
A Brom theory.
Just that, like, I think he has some serious emotional issues surrounding
Yeah.
the fact that, you know, his dragon was killed, blah, blah. But I think it's just he's treating Eragon so badly because he's really, really, really jealous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's,
He's an old, insecure man.
yeah, there's no reason for him to be doing any of this stuff to this kid.
No.
And I just think that he's got huge issues and he's really, really, really jealous, and that if he could, he would kill Eragon and take Saphira for himself. But he can't do that.
Yeah.
So he's just giving him all the ways to accidentally kill himself.
Yeah, basically. I've got a bit about the last little bit of this, which is from
Galbatorix's recruiting?
no,
Or you saying?
the last paragraph of this is Brom metering out his like wise man wisdom shit, but it's a book written by a child, so like it's the most low level.
No, I've underlined that as well.
Yeah. What is it? It's keep in mind that many people have died for their beliefs. It's actually quite common. The real courage is in living and suffering for what you believe. Thanks, Brom.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Brom.
Brom.
That was really profound,
I
bro.
hope that you're in the great quote books.
I'm 14 and this is deep.
Yeah.
Literally. It's fantastic.
Oh,
It's cute from an author's perspective, but
Yeah.
this is not the best old man wisdom Brom has delivered in a while.
No.
no.
He needs to do better.
Yeah. I like the the stuff before it was saying Galbatorix can't go kill your entire family because then you might be mad. But he also kind of did do that.
Yeah, but they also...
Pretty bad.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because he also says... I don't think Galbatorix would have told them to kill your uncle. I think he'll be pretty upset that happened because of this.
Yeah.
I think they
huge fuck up on the
went
results
off book in killing your uncle.
Not only did they fuck up so badly killing Garo, they used the most expensive poison possible
And then
they
dropped
lost
it.
These guys are in so much trouble with HR.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're getting like
They're getting their
disciplined when
pay
they
docked.
They're getting put on unpaid leave.
Oh, goodness.
I don't think they're going
They
on another job.
they have to take a leave of absence, and everyone is like gossiping about it in the
Oh, did you guys
office.
hear the Razak aren't coming in this week? So embarrassing.
Eragon, when he's just like going about town the next morning, brings his bow and quiver with him.
Oh, man.
I noted this bit. He gets jump scared by puberty happening to him. Also his elven transformation, but like...
Well, no, because it's not his elven transformation.
His eyes are a little bit weird, which I took to be like he's going elf.
Yeah, I think that's some elven
It
appearance.
doesn't happen like that.
I don't know, but it's mostly just he
Him
looks in the mirror and he's like, "Oh
training
shit,
in
I'm 16 or whatever," and something
Yeah.
just happened to guys. Something really
I
really
didn't see
scary just
myself for
happened to me.
like a month, and
And then so yeah, he gets so scared of.
He takes his bow and quiver out with him.
Literally, the fact that he's growing up a little bit, that he arms himself to go browse some stores.
he arms himself to leave his bedroom.
Just in case some more testosterone's hanging out in the hallway. It's so crack up.
Eragon gets on Spyro moments.
Eragon, just become a girl, you can do it. Yeah, he just goes shopping and gets nothing because he has no money.
He has no money.
He's just window shopping.
He's really
How's
hungry.
he window shopping? He can't even read. He's just looking at items and he don't know what they are.
He's chatting with various people.
Tyrion's so evil, you think these places have windows?
No, bro.
No, they're really deep.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck is in there?
You gotta go into the store
Oh
and get kicked
god.
out for having no money.
Man.
Anyway,
Well,
he
he's
comes back to
still
Angela's.
pretty brazenly walking into stores with no money, so maybe they're not being that mean to him.
It's probably the bow and arrow.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we better let him look. We better let him look.
Well, it's not like strung. It's
No.
just in its tube. But like, why'd you bring that with you?
It's his comfort item. Angela's store fucking rules.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, the description's really good. The vibe is
The
excellent.
description is so good. I saw the description of there being a crystal ball, and I immediately went back to the beginning of the paragraph to see if she was going to set her store on fire. But it's really dark in there; all the windows are covered, so she's safe.
You have to cover this crystal ball. Why? The spirits? No, you will set your house on fire. Yeah, I love her store. It's so funny. Solemnbum,
Yeah.
you are an asshole.
he's so
Oh, he's so
cute.
funny.
I love him.
He's so funny.
Do telepathy
He's
voices
fucking
not
weird.
have, like, actual voices?
That's
yeah,
what I was
I
thinking.
know.
Yeah, Eragon, how can you not tell that this is a completely different person?
Yeah, is it
Yeah.
just his own voice, like, as if he's thinking it, but it's not
that
what
would be
he's
nightmare.
thinking?
Oh, I
Really
would hate
scary.
that.
But, like, surely... I mean, this is probably just an oversight, but, like, surely you can determine your best friend who you've been talking to, like, thought-speaking to
Yeah.
for months, and
A whole new guy.
the cat
that's
right in front of you. Like,
Yeah.
surely those are
I
different
mean,
voices.
like, I get being like, well, what the hell is this voice? Because there's no one here except this cat. But first of all, the cat's really fucked up looking. And second of all, why did you think it was Saphira? It could have been like Brom.
Yeah. It was... I guess he just misses her.
But also, he's literally prodding the cat with his thoughts, saying, "Hi, I'm a friend," and gets a reply, and is like, "Saphira."
Yeah, he's really stupid here. And
He's standing there thinking friend really hard at the cat, and it's like, you don't have to do this. And he's like,
what
whoa!
the fuck is that?
He
And
goes to
picks
grab
up
the
the
rod to hit him with
electricity
a
rod.
stick.
Yeah, and he's like, don't pick that up.
Bro,
and he does
don't
it
touch
anyway and tases himself.
Yeah. I love this cat just knowing everything about him. He knows he's a dragon rider. He knows he's a small town boy. Someone just knows all of this.
Someone's
Like,
got it unlocked.
Solomon's not like other cats.
do I look like other cats?
Oh, I love Solomon so much.
He rules. I'm so glad he's recurring.
Yeah.
He's so funny. I'm so sad we don't get to see his freak little boy
Oh
form
my
in
god,
this
he's
chapter.
so
Not for a while.
scary.
Yeah,
No, it's a really long time before you see that.
he
Yeah.
looks really fucked up when he's a
My
person.
memory of him is really freaky,
Yeah, I remember being kind of scared of him.
Yeah.
I think he looks like Nico D'Angelo from Percy Jackson.
Oh, I was imagining him
I don't
as
know.
much hairier than that.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking a scrawny little emo boy.
I think he is scrawny and emo.
Yeah.
But that's his right. He's literally a werecat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody on DeviantArt wishes they could be him. He rules.
He's described as having his fangs like over his legs.
He's got big, scary.
He's like a little tiny saber tooth.
Is he the size of like a normal cat?
He's a large cat.
He's a larger cat.
Okay.
He's like a large,
So cute.
the largest end of house cat, I
Yeah.
guess, which
He's
is pretty
described
big.
as-
but-
described as lean here, but I think it would be funnier if he was kind of a fat cat.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
he's like the kind of cat that will run full force at your door and try to open it. Oh my god, somebody I follow on the internet has the biggest, fattest cat in the world, but he's like not overweight. He's just really,
Huge.
really, really big.
Oh,
And I'm obsessed with him, and his name is Chubbs.
very cute.
Mean. What am I?
So,
Angela
Solomon
comes
introduces
in.
himself as Solomon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then Angela comes in.
I love how up himself he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't
Eragon's
you
like,
be?
what's this rod that just attacked me? And he's just like, a common and boring artifact, unlike myself.
Unlike me. I know
Stop
we've-
paying attention to that. I'm here.
I know we've talked about our category 10 Brom moment of the week, but this is like next level Eragon moment. The fact that he's like, oh, what's
Talking
this?
to a mythical being. He's like, what's this stick?
What is this? And like he's on the floor writhing in pain because he's been electrocuted so badly.
let go.
And then he doesn't let go of the stick. And someone has to be like, you should drop that. It's gonna go again in like a minute. He's not a smart man. And that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Angela coming in and saying like, "Oh my god, you talked with him." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He
this
likes
is like
you.
after a second of communication,
Yeah.
Solomon's told Angela everything.
She's just beaming like a full packet of information to
Yeah,
him.
well, he doesn't seem to like to tell very much information, so I think that he just basically, like, literally just said, I like this guy.
Spoke to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't seem to know anything about
She
him.
talks with him, but it sounds like he doesn't say stuff back sometimes.
Yeah, she just talks to him.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. Well, that's very...
That's so
that's
funny.
a cat.
That's
That's
a
a cat.
cat, yeah.
But he's a werecat. He's a real guy, you know?
Yeah, but he can't be asked.
He's got
I
cat, he's
guess.
got cat-like tendencies.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
I'll give him that.
I mean, obviously, okay, so obviously it was his mother that came through.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
because
Duh.
her name's Selena.
Yeah.
Martha!
But, like, instantly jumping to, that must have been my mum, because no one else in the world
No one
has
in the
this
world
name.
is named Celine.
And he focuses on the fact that his mum had a kind of a bad fortune, and not the fact that she was capable of mind speaking to this cat. Well, I guess everybody can do that.
Any human can learn how to do that.
I guess. But, like, wouldn't you go, oh, I think my mum was kind of swag and had powers, maybe?
Well, he thinks she was brave,
Yeah.
and that he can be brave enough to get his fortune
That is
as
cute.
well.
I like that as a motivation for him. It's very sweet. Should we get into the fortune?
Oh, it's so long. Yeah, we
it's
should.
like
It's so long we
3
should get into
pages.
it. Okay. The fortune is told with real dragon knuckle bones that have
Very
little.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's pretty uncomfortable with that.
It does show they've got, like, real magic, though.
Yeah, and she says words in the ancient language, so he's like, holy shit, she's a real witch. Despite her anti-witch toad propaganda, she is a real witch. So the first part of his fortune that she manages to figure out is a symbol for infinity or long life. It's meaning that he's gonna live a really long time.
And he says, no surprises there, I am a writer.
Yeah, and then he thinks, was Angela going to only tell him things he already knew? But the real key thing here is that she does not know that.
There's no way
that,
you
like,
know that,
he's
right?
like, you're only going to tell me things I already know. She doesn't know that. That's real fortune telling.
Yeah,
and he
she
doesn't
said, like,
know.
This is weird. Most people die young here.
Yeah, most people
people
die
live
not
a
young or
normal
normal.
life.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone with infinite life. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What else?
Alright, we got a wandering path, lightning bolt, and sailing ship all lie together. A pattern she's never seen and only heard of.
Yeah, meaning that he has a lot of choices in his future and is truly in charge of his own fate, and he can come to decide himself.
Mm-hmm.
All but one of them are bad.
Yeah.
There's the lightning bolt's a terrible omen. There's going to be a
death and betrayal.
Yeah, there's a death soon in his future, and based off of the ship, his fate is to leave this land forever at some point.
I get it, you read Lord of the Rings.
He says another death and immediately thinks of Roran because, like, a death that'll bring me grief, gotta be Roran, does not think of
Doesn't
Brom.
give a fuck about Brom.
He's more sad if Caddock died than Brom.
At this point, I would be, if I was Eragon, and to be fair, I'm a meaner person than he is, but I would be actively trying to kill Brom.
Not blunting those swords very well.
I would be tripping him down the stairs.
Oh no, old man!
Oh my god, Grandpa fell over!
The next one is more pleasant, is a rose blossom between the horns of a crescent moon. An epic romance.
Strong enough to outlast empires, which I think is really funny.
I do not think that this epic romance comes to pass.
Not particular. I would not.
No, not really.
Well, like, there is a little. I wouldn't call it. Well, maybe epic in, like, the classical sense.
Yeah. I mean, but...
I think it technically outlasts an empire.
Yeah, that's the thing. It does outlast an empire.
Isn't it, like, totally one-sided?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I feel...
So epic isn't an epic tragedy, perhaps,
Yeah.
but, like...
Arya is obviously asleep for all of this book, so I feel
she
like...
wakes up at the end.
Yeah, like quite close to the end, right?
They talk in her head for a bit.
Yeah.
I think
But, like,
that
yeah, it's nothing.
maybe because all of the things that are predicted here happen in this book.
No, they don't.
Or at least in Eldest. And I think that...
No, you will leave this land forever.
Oh,
that's
right,
the end of the last book.
Yeah, that's like the end of the end. That's like you plan out your first book and then you're like, oh, I guess I have to have the end of the series. But I feel like he probably planned for them to have like a romantic subplot and then was trying to write it and it just wasn't working. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because this was meant to be a trilogy and it turned into 4 books.
Yeah.
Because of,
The cycle.
the way writing works.
Yeah.
Sometimes you set things up and be like, hey, well, actually, this doesn't work at all.
Yeah, writing it. Oh, my little guys don't actually like each other.
Yeah.
Who are they fighting?
Oh, this age gap is not surmountable.
Yeah. Oh, he is a child to her. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And now the last two bones, I've got the tree and the hawthorn root, which cross each other strongly. I wish this were not so. It can only mean more trouble, but betrayal is clear, and it will come from within your family.
Roran wouldn't do that.
He's like, Ron's gonna die? Ron's gonna betray me?
I wouldn't know. But the bones have never lied, and that's what they say.
Yeah, this is, knowing the plot, this is really fun.
Yeah.
This is really fun.
Because it's, if you haven't read the book before, it's like very obvious but very fun foreshadowing, and especially just because like this is for, I wouldn't say younger readers, but it is for like 12 to 15 kind of age
younger
range.
readers.
Younger readers.
Younger. I would, well, I don't know, I classify like 8 as like a younger reader, but
This is young adult, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you're reading at that age level, this is like fun foreshadowing that you're picking up on and going, ooh, I can't wait to see all this happening.
You're reading, you're seeing, there's no way this is Roran, so maybe it is Brom, and he is right there.
Yeah. And the betrayal thing.
You're like, oh my god, he's got secret family.
Yeah.
Because no way it would be Roran.
Because like Roran's out of the story.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. Like I liked it a lot. I think having this as like a backdrop and then going through the story waiting for it to happen is like a good way to keep you interested
Yeah.
and like thinking, oh, is this like when the prophecy's going to come true kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I think
it's
this
a really
is a
fun
fortune
chapter.
telling that's done really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can be bad.
Yeah. They can be, like, obvious and on the nose.
They
and
can be
just...
Harry Potter orb. Like,
Oh my god, the fucking orbs.
not the fucking orb.
orbs.
Whatever, we don't need to think
We
about
don't
the
need to get
orbs.
into it.
I like that she says at the end, like, but don't worry about it. The only way the future can hurt you is if you're worried about the future.
And then he worries about the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Brom kicking it foreshadowing is crazy. Not just the prediction. The fact that his doom is a meme to witches is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, that,
Oh, yeah.
they must have crazy beef with him if, like, she hears his name and then laughs about how bad he's gonna die.
And then
I
laughs
thought that
even
maybe
more.
they were laughing about his tragic romance.
They're just his tragic everything.
His shit life.
Yeah, I
Life
thought that it was a
syndrome.
little more than just his death.
Well,
That's funny.
because she said doom, I was like, okay. But, like, she instantly cracks up.
Yeah.
She's at the witches' conference and they're all around the cauldron making fun of him.
And
Like-
someone's like, yo, I got another Brom reading, let's go.
I've got a Brom encounter.
Brom spotted. They're like doing
They've got a Facebook page for Brom spotting.
Brom spotting's so perfect. Title episode.
Brom moment.
Yeah, no, it's just like
Anyway, Eragon
hate
tries to
him.
defend him for a second. And just like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about
like,
it.
haha, don't worry, it doesn't matter.
And then Solomon walks in and drops
Some bombs.
deep prophecy.
Yeah, second prophecy from Solomon. These ones are much longer, longer rooted.
Yeah.
Special shout out to the Manoa tree. Manoa's the bitch who turned into a tree.
Your favourite girl.
My old ass elf.
My gilf.
She was a gilf. That was her whole plot.
Yeah, this is like
She was a gilf who
Book
got
three
traded in
stuff.
for a MILF, and it was really
that's
sad.
so sad for
This is
her.
like deep hidden knowledge for the like world destroying weapon kind of shit.
I know he's like a mystery creature, but why does he know this?
Yeah, I don't know if
magic.
it's explained why he knows
He's got
that.
magic powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got magic
And he
powers.
knows stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess it's just like, you know, all animals know the ancient language. He's
The
connected to
werecat
this
walked
shit.
away, waving his tail ever so gracefully.
That's such a cute description.
Yeah.
Angela's like,
And
I
Angela's,
don't know
do
what the
not
fuck
tell
just
me.
happened.
Don't tell me what he just said.
Yo, I
That's
don't
your
need to know.
business.
Yeah, what else have we got?
And then he runs to Saphira instantly.
Does like a debrief of
He
fortune
was so
telling.
hungry before he went in there and he completely forgot.
Yeah, he's
so
like,
tragic.
holy shit, I
You've got to hear this.
got more stuff I gotta lie to Brom about.
Yeah. Well, he's never lied to Brom at this point. Saphira tells him to, introduces
Sarah
him to
tells
lying.
you can lie with omission. It's okay.
Did you know you can just
Right.
not tell him?
Yeah.
Right. No, I got this confused with the other time he went to see her, because he heard of that stuff with his eavesdropping
Yeah.
as well. Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. To tell him of solemn bums and his word will only raise questions you may not want to answer. And if you decided to only ask him what those words mean, he will want to know where you learned them. Do you think you can lie convincingly to him? No. Maybe I won't say anything.
Right.
Yeah, you shouldn't say anything. At the end of the chapter, they're having their...
They're awful dinner.
No, Brom's complaining about fucking administrators.
I couldn't even bribe
bureaucracy.
him. Like,
I can't believe I've never come across an uncorrupt noble, and I hate them more than corrupt nobles. Fuck off.
It's just...
I don't know. I think this is pretty funny.
It's really
cracked up.
funny, but it's just like
I
he's
just
such
hate
an-
Brom.
He also is puffing furiously on his pipe and mumbling a steady stream of curses while talking about this.
You fucking have.
He had, and then
so
when he
fucking
seemed
bad.
to have calmed, Eragon asked out, "So what now?"
He's sitting
the
beside
guys-
the fire smoking about this. He's been like,
Yeah.
He's been fuming all day.
he's been fuming for hours.
Yeah, because the
Administrator.
italicized administrator is the worst.
Is he going to get arrested for soliciting bribes?
I don't know.
Like, you can't just try to hefty bribe. What did it
He
say?
tried a hefty bribe. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
substantial
it's
bribe.
probably pretty standard to substantial bribe people, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Is this guy going to get arrested for not taking the bribe?
No. I feel like the reason that Brand is in this position is because he doesn't take bribes.
Yeah.
What are they going to do to him?
I don't know.
nasty
What
trick.
kind of nasty trick are you planning,
I
Bron?
feel like they're kind of going to jigsaw trap
They'll never tell you what that old man did to them.
Joker's trick him a little bit, so I'm
Yeah.
a bit scared.
Yeah, Brom decided he's going to teach Eragon to read in 1 week.
1 week.
It's so insane.
Maybe they have a really good writing system that's really easy to read.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't know. Have you seen the runes on this map?
yeah, they're pretty...
They mean nothing.
they look kind of bad. Well, that one's an H. They look
Yeah,
kind
but
of
that's
bad.
for east.
Oh, Christ.
East.
East?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's an easy writing system. Like, maybe it's a specifically designed one like Korean that you can learn quickly. But I don't know.
I don't think so.
I-
Not in this world.
At the very least, he knows how to speak, so, like, matching it up,
Yeah,
sure. I guess that
maybe.
makes some sense.
What do we think the literacy rates in Alagacia are?
I don't know. Well, again, it really depends on the system of writing. And, like, how well thought out it is. Because, like, certain places where it was thought out quite well, the literacy rates were quite high. Like, literacy
In Wales is
in
huge.
Wales was really high during, like, well, not medieval, but, like, once the King James Bible got translated. Literacy in Wales was really high because once you know the letters, it's all phonetic and it's really easy.
Yeah.
Unlike in English.
Because it's crazy.
English is a bastard
English-
language.
Well, English
from-
is all spelled wrong, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Welsh
it's like,
is spelled correctly, so
conglomerate.
it's easy.
English is just every language.
Yeah.
So maybe whatever they're speaking in Alagacia is...
Is written well.
Yeah.
It's written
Maybe
phonetically,
he
maybe.
could learn.
Maybe it's possible to learn in a week.
Yeah, perhaps.
But then
Yeah.
again, in which case, why didn't Garrow just teach them in a week?
Well, because
Well,
he's
'cause
crazy.
Well, yeah,
he
'cause he's
hated. He's
Yeah.
a hater.
He's a literacy hater. It's too luxurious to be able
Hates
to read street
words.
signs.
No.
It's just... I can't get over it. I'm sorry. Why is Garrow like
I
this?
hate him. I know he's
What is his fucking problem?
dead and gone or whatever, but fuck that guy.
Yeah.
What's the point?
What if he
Fucking
taught
fuck
Roran
that
how to
guy.
read and he didn't take it?
What's a secret?
Get out of spite.
Don't tell Eragon you know how to read.
Secret father-son time. I'm teaching
Oh
my
my
boy how to
God.
read.
But not my nephew.
My nephew can
Everybody's
eat
so
it.
mean to Eragon. I'm going to put him in a little basket. Like, this is too much for me.
Yeah.
And then they go...
Reading this book for the first time, being many, many years younger than Eragon versus now is so...
Yeah, I think I read this the first time when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, same. That would be about when I read this.
So, like,
16
I was like,
the-
holy shit, you're old. And grown up and so big.
16 was like, damn right, that's the cusp of manhood. You're past the cusp.
Yeah. And now it's like, why are you doing this to him?
Like, no, he's just a boy.
He's in year 11, why are you doing this to him? It's evil. And then they have their horrible
Horrible
dinner.
dinner.
God.
And Helen's fucking
Helen.
Helen
pissed.
is fuming. She's
Oh, yeah,
so
her
mad.
husband just invited these two random guys. Their coffers. Their coffers are diminishing, and her husband's invited these two random guys to stay with them indefinitely.
And he's also said the only thing you have to worry about is eating too much food. Can you feed your wife first,
Yeah.
maybe?
What about her lifestyle?
Yeah. Maybe she wants her little sweet treats after dinner. And she deserves them.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, no, she hates his
You know,
guts. It's really
Helen?
crack up.
Yeah.
What is
They're shooting lasers at each other.
straight
across
up?
the
They are trying to
table.
blow each other's heads up
They're
with their
glaring at
minds.
each other.
Why is he mad at her?
I don't know what Jode's, like, why he has any reason to be mad at her.
Oh, because she's
Because
Because
she's a
she's
woman.
mad at
she's
him.
a woman
She's
and
a
she's
woman.
like, I don't like what's going on right now, and she's not being
That's
his
not
little perfect
acceptable.
wife.
I
Unbelievable.
hope we learn more about Helen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we do. I have memories.
I hope
I have
so.
no idea.
I have no memories of Helen. I hope we learn more about her.
I remember quite liking her. I think she's nice to Eragon at some point.
Yeah, maybe she gives
Somebody
him a
needs to be.
trinket or something.
Yeah, somebody needs to be. Jesus Christ. It's tough out there for everybody.
Oh, it's tough out there when you're just a little boy.
Oh God. And
All right.
yeah, I think that is it. I think
Probably
we're
wrap
good.
this one up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a long one, lads.
Yeah, I
this
think
is
we're just
nearly
gonna
2
have
hours.
to wrap this one up like instantly.
Yeah.
We're just gonna end.
Yeah.
So, next week, what do we got?
Oh yeah, who's on summary next week? You are, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We have Of Reading and Plots, Thieves in the Castle, and A Costly Mistake.
Ooh.
Oh, guys.
Yeah.
The good news is
Guys,
it's
pretty short.
like 23 pages.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of like less than the whole of
old friends.
Old Friends.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
That's
Looking
good. We
forward
can
to
make
it.
up for this bumper one.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Woohoo!